Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschathyade Shatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I am very happy and very honored to be here in your company for this installation ceremony. It's actually a home installation ceremony. Normally the installation ceremonies are very complex. Sometimes we see in temples and in India takes like 3 days or 1 week for the installation ceremony. It's very elaborate. His Holiness Yadunandana Swami Maharaj, as the initiating spiritual master of Ishvara Govinda Prabhu and his good wife Nikunja Radha Devi Dasi, has given authorization for them to start to worship Shri Shri NITAI at home. And Yadunandana Swami Maharaj has given this beautiful name, Shri Shri NITAI GAURANGACHANDra. And I think, of course, I have not spoken to Maharaj. I came here, Krishna took me at the last minute, Ishvara Govinda invited me, and I was visiting my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Swarup Das Goswami Maharaj, in 3 hours and a half from here in Stuyvesant Falls. And I was doing a retreat, writing, and I'm writing a book. And then Ishvara Govinda Prabhu invited me, please come. And then how I could refuse. It was so, his invitation was so sweet and so kind. How I could say no. It was impossible to say no. Also, actually, my god brother, Baladev Vidyabhushana Prabhu, was meant to come. He lives with Sarvaru Maharaj in Stuyvesant Falls, but unfortunately he was ill and he couldn't come. So anyway, by Krishna's arrangement, I'm here, and I'm very happy to see what you are doing at the Rochester Institute of Technology. It's very nice, and I think we should be grateful to the Institute that they provide such nice facilities for interfaith. This is really something to, in Europe we will say chapeau, no chapeau, like the French they always take it's a Western way, but the chapeau, like it's very nice that they are providing this facility, and we should be grateful for it and don't take it for granted. I think whenever possible, extend the gratitude to the organizers who are facilitating this space, so nice space. We can have a wonderful installation. And I find very significant that the installation has been organized here. It's for a home worship, but actually the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to share his message with other people. And of course I know some of you are initiated, practicing Bhakti Yogis, but I know that I think a considerable number of you are not. You like it because it's part of your tradition. You come from India and you feel at home by getting together with other people from India and sharing spiritual activities, isn't it? It's like that. So, therefore, what I'm going to speak, it's maybe for some of you a bit simple, if you like, but I want to make it available. I think it's relevant for everyone. I want to speak a little bit about who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And actually there is a book I was seeing, a book written by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The book is entitled Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And in the beginning part of the book, Srila Prabhupada explains who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a very simple and clear way. Srila Prabhupada explains that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Sri Krishna is, according to Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, two most important sacred scriptures from the Vedic literature, Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna stu Bhagavan Svayam. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Ete chamsa kalak pumsa, Krishna stu Bhagavan Svayam. There are many incarnations. From all the incarnations, Sri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we find actually the two forms of God most worshipped and most popular all over India, Sri Krishna and Sri Ramachandra. Isn't it? We have the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, and then we have the Srimad Bhagavatam about Krishna Lila. And we see, for example, how in the Indian art, there is so much art of Krishna in Vrindavan. Krishna as a cowherd boy, as a little child, which makes Krishna especially sweet, because he is God, but he has become very approachable, very loving, very human. And this touches people, touches souls. Krishna becomes subservient to his devotees. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yaya tamam prapadyante, tam stataiva vajami aham, mama varman vartante, manusya partha sarvashaha. As much as people approach me, surrender unto me, I reciprocate with them. So this is Krishna, this is God. He's unlimited. Therefore, he reciprocates with each person according to how they approach him. So Srila Prabhupada explains that 5,000 years ago, Sri Krishna spoke the message of the Bhagavad Gita for the benefit of humanity. And the message of the Gita is very, very profound, very deep. Actually, the term Bhagavad Gita means the song of Bhagavan, the song of God. And it is a song to wake up the souls who are sleeping in the material world. So actually, Bhagavad Gita, this is the Rochester Institute of Technology. Bhagavad Gita is the science of spiritual technology. As contradictory as it may sound for some of you, but it is actually spiritual technology. It is science, but it is the science of life, science of the self. And therefore Krishna in the Gita gives many very clear examples. For example, comparing the soul to the person. Actually, the soul is the person, but meaning the human being. And the body, the material body, is compared to the dress. We are dressing in different ways. Like here, some of us are dressing more classical, we could say, traditional dressing of India. Nowadays, less and less. No, in India, people are dressing more like in the West. So it's mixed. Some of us are dressing differently. Some more Eastern way, some more Western way, some a mixture of the two, isn't it? Make a mixture. But actually, what is important is not the dress, it's the person. Of course, in our temples we favor the traditional ways. That's very nice, it's very good. And I like, and many of you, I understood that you are from South India. South India like tradition, or used to like tradition. I don't know anymore to what extent you can say. Sometimes we want to perpetuate something, but maybe there are external changes that are there. But what it doesn't change is the self. The external aspects may change, but the self never changes. And this is a spiritual technology spoken by Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So, and then Sri Krishna spoke that actually we should, he comes to sing, it is actually, the Gita is a song of divine love. Krishna is coming to call us to join him. He wants to have a relationship with us. We have forgotten him. In the material world, we are totally oblivious to him. So Krishna is calling us, please come, join me. And then he says, he actually is saying that he loves us, and he's requesting our bhakti, our love, our divine love. And he says that you can't really know me only through bhakti. Krishna explains many processes. Karma yoga, the yoga of work. One should work in this world, shouldn't be a lazy fellow, but should be an active person and contribute something for the benefit of others. This is a duty of human life. And should offer it to God. Yat karoshi yat ashnashi, yat uhoshi tathasi yat tapasisi kaunteya, tat kurushva natarpanam, Krishna says. Everything you do, everything you eat, everything you offer as a gift, any penances you perform, offer them to me. This is karma yoga. Krishna also explains jnana yoga, the yoga of transcendental knowledge. And it can be practiced in multiple ways. In chapter 4 of the Gita, Krishna explains through different types of yagyas, different types of sacrifices. And therefore we see in India, there are so many ways of practicing spirituality. People who are sincere in the spiritual path search moksha, search to go beyond the material existence, to transcend the world of suffering, to achieve peace in this life, which is not that easy, isn't it? It's not that easy to achieve peace. So they seek for peace and for liberation from the cycle of birth and death. So this is jnana yoga. And then Krishna says that all the different sacrifices the sacrifice which is performed with transcendental knowledge, with knowledge of the Atma, knowledge of the self, is the highest knowledge. Any sacrifice for a spiritual course is good, but if it is performed understanding what I'm doing, then that's the best. We should become educated in the science of the soul and in the science of God. But then Krishna says that actually if you really want to know me, you need to love me. Before that, Krishna explains the process of classical yoga, dhyana yoga, the yoga of meditation. And then Krishna says, yoginam api sarvesham madhyatenantaratmana shraddhavam bhajate yomam sameyukta tamomataha. Of all the yogis, that yogi who possesses his faith in me, focuses his faith in me, surrenders unto me from the heart, is the most advanced yogi. And then later on Krishna says, Bhaktya mama vijanati yavanjaschasmi tatvadaha. That actually you can know me in truth only through bhakti, only through divine love. If we want to meet an important person, only if the person sees that we really love that person, we really admire him, then that person will give us the chance to come closer. Like for example, nowadays, wealthy people or very famous people, they always have some professional people to protect them. What do you call them? These bodyguards, yes. They guard the body but not the soul. We are soul guards. We come to take care of the souls. So the bodyguards are there to protect them because they think, oh, people may approach me, they want my money. They want my fame. Maybe they're envious. Maybe they kill me. Maybe they kidnap my child. They have money, they have fame, but they have no peace. This is the material world. But Krishna, let me see, can you help me where I was before that?
Bodyguard.
Yes, and before that? Jnana yoga, okay. Yeah, but it came to bhakti, okay. Yeah, I was explaining about Krishna. If we want to know Krishna, we should love him. Yes, the example is that those wealthy people, if they know that someone really loves them, they will allow that person to come close. Like not long ago, the Pope, this Pope is a very open person, there was a child who was coming, wanted to come close to him. And could be an attack, could be a trap. Could be. And the police came, the bodyguards came and said, no, you cannot come close. But then the Pope said to the bodyguards, no, allow him to come. Because he was convinced this child loves me. So because of love, he allowed him to come. So of course, in that case, there could be a mistake. And it could happen. So, like Mahatma Gandhi was killed in India, and we don't want to enter into politics. I know there are different opinions about that, and I don't want to go there and in Budva and all this. But the point is that many people liked him, And he was warned, don't go there, or they're going to kill you. But he said, no, I still want to go. He didn't listen and he was killed. Srila Prabhupada gives this as an example, that the tendency for the embodied being, even great people like Gandhiji, they make sometimes, you could say from the material point of view, mistakes. So, but in the case of Krishna, Krishna really sees what's in our heart. We cannot fool Krishna. We cannot cheat him. So he knows what is our intention. And when we approach him with love, he reveals himself. And therefore in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna teaches the process of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is the process of the yoga of divine love. Through hearing what we are doing now, hearing or chanting, speaking about God, remembering Him, worshipping Him as we did, serving His lotus feet, for example, by serving the spiritual master, serving the devotees of the Lord, going to holy places. Like so many people in India wants to go to Chardham, to the 4 holy places at least once in their life. That's part of the process of, when it is done with bhakti, when it is performed with devotion, that's Bhakti Yoga. Of course, if we do it without bhakti, it is something else. We should do it with bhakti. Krishna says, Patam pushpam palam toyam yume bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktu parayatam ashnami prayatatmana. If someone offers me with bhakti, with love and devotion, even something simple, a flower, a fruit, water, a leaf, Krishna says, I will accept it. So actually the important ingredient is bhakti, is devotion. Even if we have nothing, if we have devotion, we can worship Krishna in the mind. We can meditate that we are offering something to Krishna. And Krishna will accept it. Of course, if we have something, then we should offer something tangible as well. It's not that I say, I meditate, I offer everything to Krishna in the mind, but I do nothing physical. No, that's not good. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada in the beginning used to tell the devotees, his first disciples, whenever they come to the temple, in the first temple in New York City, they will say, bring something, bring a fruit, bring a flower, bring an offering. In order to train them to offer, to give to Krishna. So, Shri Krishna taught Bhakti Yoga because he knows that this is what makes the self, the soul, fully happy. The soul becomes totally happy, very, very, very happy. In Spain, there is one scientist. His name is Punset. He's a humanist, and he has done scientific research on the happiness by doing interviews, by researching in different ways, qualitative analysis and quantitative, and so on, psychological analysis. I know it's not like hard technology, but okay, it's part of humanity, it's part of who we are in this world. And actually, we all want to be happy. if I ask you, those of you who are into computer sciences, why you are studying this, what do you tell me?
To earn money and to be happy.
To earn money, isn't it? Because the computers are to be happy. You want to have money, and then when I have money, I can maintain a family. I can have everything I need. I can be happy. So this is what makes people move. So actually, we're searching for happiness. This institute is ultimately meant to provide something which is supposed to give happiness to people. And are people happy after they graduate? Are they? Many times not. We see that because matter cannot give happiness. Srila Prabhupada will give the example of the fish out of the water. If we take a fish out of the water and give it so many things, big money, big friends, and so many things, something to smoke and so many pleasures. But if the fish has no water, it cannot be happy. So the soul, out of the spiritual experience, even if he or she has all the facilities, cannot be happy. The material facilities are insufficient. We cannot be happy. We may have a very good car, but we cannot be happy by drinking petrol. Isn't it? The car is our vehicle. So we cannot be happy by just giving happiness to the body. Of course, we need food and we need to take care of the body, but we are the soul. We need something more. We need connection to God. We need a spiritual experience. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada explains, I may have gone a bit long, but just to contextualize, I wanted to make clear what Krishna taught. Krishna brought, yes, so this scientist said, he found out that the people who give the most are the happier people. That was his scientific data that he found. That people who give the most, they are most happy. Maybe they are religious or they are whatever they are, but they are giving. They are not expecting much and they are giving a lot. And why this is, according to Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, this is so because this is the nature of the self. The nature of the self is to give, is to serve. The more we give, without expecting anything, the happier we become. It's a paradox. It appears a contradiction. How is that possible? But when we give more and expect less, the happier we become. And because Krishna knows that, he comes to teach Bhakti Yoga. And he says, Sarva dharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam praja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha jishyami masucha. Abandon everything and just surrender unto me. I'll take care of everything, do not worry. Of course, that shouldn't be misunderstood, that we shouldn't work and we shouldn't take care of our families and so on. We should do our dharma, our duty, but the point is that we should abandon the material consciousness of dharma. We should do everything as an offering to Krishna, to God. But then Srila Prabhupada explains that 500 years Srila Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in Rochester, families of devotees, Krishna devotees, are inviting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu, as Sri Ramachandra was accompanied by his brother Lakshman, as Sri Krishna is accompanied by his brother Sri Balaram. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is accompanied by Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And what they do, they teach the most sublime process to wake up the soul, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, which is the process for the age of Kali. In the age of Kali, the Shastras say, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nastyeva, Nastyeva, Nastyeva Gatiranyata. In the age of Kali, there is no other process, there is no other process. There is no other process than chanting the holy name of the Lord. 3 times it is repeated. Chanting, chanting, chanting. And this is the teaching of, the essential teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I find very significant that the 2 devotees who are doing this invitation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda to their home, Ishvara Govinda Prabhu and Nikunja Radha Devidasi, their bodies are Westerners. Is it not a great example? It's a great example. Of course, I know that some of you are worshipping also at your home, but you may also take inspiration from seeing this one young man and young woman with 2 children. I know they are inviting 2 more children, big children, a lot. But sometimes, because actually when we install a deity at home, there are 2 ways of worshipping Krishna. One way is worshipping him in the temple, and when we worship God in the temple, we worship him with great opulence as a king. And therefore we see in India how people come and make so many offerings. Also in our ISKCON temples in the West, so many artics every day and so much worship. As a king. But when you worship Krishna at home, you worship him as a member of the family or as a guest. You have him at home, and then it's easier. Of course he's then in charge of the house. Like those of you, I don't talk from personal experience because I'm a sannyasi monk, but of course I do see, and I listen, I see, and yes, people tell me so many things. So in the house, normally, officially the parents are in charge, but the children are ruling the house, isn't it? Isn't it? It's not true? Because the parents love the children and they will do anything to take good care of the children. So in this case, when many devotees, when they worship, they invite the deities at home, they take care of them as if they were their children. But then they are in charge, they are the big boss. We shouldn't forget that we have God at home. So it is very auspicious that these 2 wonderful devotees are inviting Sri GAURANGACHANDRA to their home with their specific names given by their spiritual master. The names Sri NITAI, Gaurangachandra. NITAI is a name for Nityananda. It is actually an affectionate name, NITAI. Like Balaram sometimes, maybe called Balai. It's like an affectionate name, like a child, to take care of him. And Gauranga, Anga means limb, it refers to the bodily limb, bodily limbs in plural. And Gaura means golden. And actually the body of God, when it is imbued with His love and compassion, is golden color. And therefore Srimati Radharani is golden. The eternal consort of the Lord, Srimati Radharani, or in a more reverential rasa, Lakshmiji, they are golden, very beautifully golden. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God with the mood, with the love, the compassion of Srimati Radharani, and therefore he is known as Gauranga. And I think Radhanath Maharaj gave the name Gauranga, and this of course we will have to ask him, but that's my intuition, by seeing the how beautiful form these deities are when Maharaj saw them. So beautifully sculpted, so nicely, with so much devotion. Then he wanted to specifically to mention Gauranga, the limbs of the body of the Lord. The idea of deity worship is to help us to meditate on the form of God. Because in the material world, we meditate on mundane forms. So when we meditate on the deity of God, then we become transcendental, we become spiritual. We start to see everything in connection to God. Everything, everyone. This is the purpose of deity worship. And therefore I don't want to make it too much longer because there are more activities and I know there is a limit of time, but I will end by saying that Srila Prabhupada said that there are 4 activities that people, human beings, may perform or should perform in family in order to be happy. Srila Prabhupada gave that instruction to his married disciples. Should chant the holy name of the Lord as a family. Do kirtan as a family. Do japa as a family. Worship the deity of the Lord as a family. Establish a little temple at home. Eat Krishna prasadam, foodstuffs offered to the deity as a family together. And listen or read Krishna Katha, Hari Katha, the topics of Krishna, the topics of God as a family. And Prabhupada said, a family that does that will be a happy family. So I think this is what we are celebrating today. We are celebrating as the family is inviting Krishna in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu to their home, and not only to their home, but to share it also in this wonderful institute, Rochester Institute of Technology, inviting them to their home to practice these activities of Bhakti Yoga. And we wish them all success in performing service to Sri Sri NITAI Gaurangachandra. I didn't explain Chandra. Chandra, many of you know what it means, Chandra? Moon. Why the metaphor of the moon is given. Especially in India, South India is very hot, isn't it? So when there is full moon, it's very cooling. So the form of God is cooling like millions of moons. NITAI Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala. Sri Narottam Das Thakur, the great Vaishnavacharya, sang that Sri Nityananda, he is cooling like millions of moons. Cooling from the scorching heat of the suffering of material life. So Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu is also known as Gaurachandra, a moon. Sometimes compared to the sun, sometimes compared to the moon. Both of them, Krishna says in chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, that the sunlight, the moon rays come from me. So actually, Krishna is the original sun. Krishna is the original moon. And he has come very mercifully as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to deliver all the people in the world, all the souls. Thank you very much for listening patiently. If you like to ask questions or make comments, you are welcome. I don't know who we are with time. Maybe it's better to go for the Arctic or
One quick question.
2 or 3 quick questions. 2 or 3 quick questions. Prabhu, yes.
So, they are very sincere that they are inviting deities at their home, but on a practical level, all of us are not in a position to physically install deities at home. So, how can we, as a neophyte, try to engage ourselves in spiritual life?
Yes, but when the spiritual master approves, in this case, the deities are deities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu. And they're the Yuga Avatar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as the Yuga Avatar. So the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can be worshipped very easily. You don't need big rituals. Actually, Srila Prabhupada explained that just by chanting the holy name of the Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu are satisfied, are happy. Of course, you can offer also incense, and like we did a beautiful Abhishek ceremony with many natural substances. So therefore, for worshipping Sri Gauranga NITAI with permission of the spiritual master, there are not hard and fast rules. And therefore we are not concerned with the technical details. Their spiritual master gave permission, gave blessings, and it is coming from Krishna. And why did he give blessings? Because he knew that Srila Prabhupada wanted Gauranga NITAI deities in each home. Even he wanted devotees to distribute, they used to call them, if I remember correctly, were Gauranga NITAI dolls. Happy dolls. So these were Gauranga NITAI dancing. And someone asked Srila Prabhupada about it, but Srila Prabhupada was favorable. That no, Gauranga NITAI, they don't take offense. With Sri Krishna, Sri Radha Krishna, Sri Lakshmi Narayana, Sri Sita Ram, we should be careful in the worship. But Sri Gauranga NITAI is God when he doesn't take offense. Of course, we should approach him in proper attitude, but he doesn't take offense. I don't know if that answers your concern, your question. Yes? So in that sense, any of you can prepare yourself if you are not doing it yet, and you can start with worship of GAURANGACHANDRA. And you can learn from others who are more experienced in this worship, consult with experienced Vaishnavas, the devotees, and with your spiritual master, and do it if you like. One more question.
You express bhakti as a way to go towards Krishna. So, being at school, in college, in the university or at workplace, how can we practice bhakti in our day-to-day life?
You mean when you are studying, or?
Yes. So I know we have to chant Hare Krishna as a sign of bhakti, but being in school, in college, in our day-to-day life, routine work, whatever we do for earning money, getting a graduate degree, how can we express bhakti in our day-to-day life?
Yeah, Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, before he became a sannyasi monk, he was a married man. He had children, he had a wife, he was working very hard. He went to university prior to that. But then as a grihastha, he had his ways how to chant Hare Krishna. He explained once to some disciples that one nice formula that he used during one period of his life as a married person was chanting 4 rounds before going to work, 4 rounds before breakfast, 4 rounds before lunch, and 4 rounds before dinner, supper. Like that. Or also would be 4 before breakfast, 4 before lunch, 4 before dinner, 4 before going to bed. So there are formulas that each person can find how to practice bhakti. And in the beginning, one may not be able to chant 16 rounds. So that may start with less number, a number that the person can do without difficulty. And then little by little increase. It's like doing gymnastics or sports. In the beginning, do a certain number of exercises. Then when the body becomes stronger, a little more. So spiritually it's the same. So the idea is to start little by little and gradually increasing. And with the guidance of a spiritual master with whom you can share and you can talk, and also other devotees who are nearby, who are more experienced. With that guidance, it is possible to practice Bhakti Yoga according to time, place, and person. It may be different. It's very different for a mother with 2 small children, like Mataji has, 2 small children, or a mother with grown-up sons and daughters who are more or less independent. The first one will have less time than the second, normally. So according to time, place, and person, it is with the guidance of a spiritual master and the devotees, it is possible to advance in Krishna consciousness and to practice Bhakti Yoga. I don't know if that's too general or you wanted more specifics. I'm presenting the general principles, then the specifics could be perhaps talk more individually if you like.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So we will continue now with the Arctic ceremony. Right? This is, we have Pushpanjali ceremony. Pushpanjali means to offer flowers with Anjali, with the hands folded together. So we offer flowers. We'll sing some prayers to the spiritual masters and to Sri Krishna, to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and to many divine personalities. I think we have it is written. And then after the prayers at the end, we will sing a prayer to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then offer flowers 3 times. So you have to keep the amount of flowers you will receive, you have to keep them for 3 times. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri NITAI GAURANGACHANDRA ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. NITAI Gaur Premanande.
Yadunandana Swami Maharaj ki
Jai.